All right, so one of the lawyers barred from Madison Square Garden through facial recognition technology is speaking out. This was after our explosive interview with MSG CEO James Dolan.
His name?
Larry Hutcher. And his colleagues were barred from entering the Garden and other MSG-owned venues. That is because their firm represents a group suing the company.
Mr. Hutcher says he's been a Knicks fan and a season ticket holder for more than 40 years. He filed a lawsuit against MSG, and Larry Hutcher joining us this morning. Nice to have you on Good Day New York.
Good morning.
So we had Jim Dolan on last week. He said basically this is his home. You guys are suing until this lawsuit is over. You shouldn't be allowed in until the lawsuit is completed. What are your thoughts?
Well, the reason that he gave in the letters that were sent for why we were banned was that he was worried about wrongful disclosure. But the reality is, what he admitted in his interview was that it was solely to seek revenge. It was designed for the purpose to exact revenge on anyone who would sue him.
I don't think that's what he said. In fact, we have a little bit of the interview, and we want to play it right now.
Okay, go ahead.
If somebody sues you, right, that's confrontational. It's adversarial, and fine. People are allowed to sue, right? But at the same time, if you're being sued, right, you don't have to welcome the person into your home.
So, Larry, what do you have to say to that?
Well, the reality is that's not what they've argued in court. What he has said in that interview is very different what they have argued as the basis for the ban in court papers under oath. What they have sworn under oath is that the reason for the ban is to prevent a violation of ethical rules. And courts have said, a judge in Delaware said, that was the most idiotic thing I have ever seen.
Well, you know, listen, you won part of your lawsuit, but you still can't go to the sporting event,
correct,
right? Okay.
So now you are suing him because of that.
Well, we sued originally to turn over the ban, and we were successful in getting an injunction with respect to non-sporting events. We are bringing an application on this week to ask the judge to extend it to sporting events based on recent rulings by the state liquor authority that says any ban of a customer is in violation of the liquor authority. And so we are confident that the judge will hopefully see that.
Possibly pull their liquor license. I got to ask you, though, so the clients that you're representing are suing because of this ticket issue. There's a whole lot of talk with Ticketmaster, people not being able to buy tickets. Maybe explain that.
Sure. And this is what's fascinating about what Mr. Dolan said. We are talking about in my lawsuit that we have commenced 100 tickets. That's it.
Yeah, but they're basically scalpers that you're representing.
But do you understand that Madison Square Garden, the only reason they're doing this is because they want to control the resale market. Madison Square Garden enters into an exclusive arrangement with Ticketmaster where they participate in every ticket that is resold.
But that's not necessarily a bad thing because they can control the prices, unlike scalpers who they have no control over, and then people can't buy a ticket.
That's where you're wrong. What controls the pricing is the market. If Dolan gets his way and Ticketmaster is the exclusive only one that can resell tickets, that will create an artificial floor. They can create a low price as opposed to where there are other people involved in a free market that would say, we're not going to sell it for the price that Ticketmaster wants. We're going to sell it for what the market will bear. And on many occasions, there are events that sell for less than what the face value of the ticket is. So actually, the ticket resellers are providing a service. They're creating an actual market. They are not
I don't think anybody loves ticket sellers, I have to be honest with you, especially after the Taylor Swift debacle.
Even Beyonce, too, now.
And now people are concerned about Beyonce tickets being sold. I mean, nobody, I think, has, you know,
$700
affinity for ticket sellers.
Okay, so one of the things that Mr. Dolan referred to were bots. He is claiming that these people come in and use these computerized bots. That's illegal in New York. No ticket broker that is doing business in New York is using a bot. So the idea that they are using these computer-generated apps to buy tickets in large. That doesn't exist in New York. It's illegal. It doesn't happen. None of my clients use it. So the claim that these people are hoarding tickets, it isn't true. What was the cause of the Ticketmaster problem was an inability to service the demand. It had nothing whatsoever to do with resellers. It's that simple. That's just a false narrative.
So where do you go from here? You're not. We clearly saw that you are a big fan of the Knicks. You're there
a big fan.
For so many years, and now nothing.
Yes, it's very disappointing. I would say the analogy is to you as reporters. If you report a story that Mr. Dolan wouldn't like, are you going to be banned? When we were before the judge, when the judge asked the attorneys for Madison Square Garden, if I rule against you, are you going to ban me? It's just not the way when you run a business. He talks about a bakery, okay? You're banned from a bakery. If I'm banned from a bakery, I can go to another bakery around the corner.
Well, you can go to Barclays Center and watch the Nets.
I'm a Knicks fan.
Go watch the Nets now, Larry.
I'm a Knicks fan. I'm not a Net fan.
So what are you going to do? It looks like you're surviving.
I'm surviving, but if I'm losing the benefits of one of the joys of New York, being able to go to a game with my family, my children, my grandchildren, that makes my life less interesting.
I understand. Barclays Center is very nice. Anyway, we have a statement from MSG. We are pleased that the court has dismissed all of Mr. Hutcher's firm's claims, with the exception of their attempted manipulation of the civil rights law, and we are confident we will prevail on that issue before the appellate division.
Oh boy.
Larry, you got your hands full.
And that's, there were 90 law firms that were banned.
Yep.
No one did anything. I was the only one that said, I'm going to stand up, I'm going to exercise my rights, and I'm going to make this right. 90 law firms were sued. I'm the only one that fought. I'm a fighter. I stand up to bullies. That's what we do. I'm confident we're going to win.
And you might now have to be a Nets fan.
I'm not sure I'm going to go there yet.
Larry, keep your options open. This could go on a while. The court systems are very slow.
That I agree with. That I agree
Larry
with.
Hutcher, everybody, you heard him from right here on Good Day New York
Thank you
this
for
morning.
having me.
Thank you.